So today I'm going to be replacing the front shocks, and hopefully I'll be able to get to the rear shocks this video. So that's the part number there. These are for a Toyota Dyna 150. So these are for the just like work truck model. So hopefully they're a bit beefier than what I currently have on there. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and you can watch that. I didn't put the shock on. Maybe you saw in the time lapse, these shocks are way too long. So luckily the shock on there had a part number, and I searched the part number, and then it turned out to be a 1997 Mitsubishi Montero front strut or shock. So yeah, I'm gonna order some of those. It's kind of surprised the shock was still half decent, but just the way it drives, there's just so much bounce in the front. So I'm gonna get a heavy duty shock, and hopefully that remedies that a bit. I'm gonna replace the air filter and then get the part number for the back shocks. So hopefully, or maybe even see if my back shocks work. We'll find out. So yeah, I was just checking out the AC stuff while I was under there. But as you can see, this filter is super brown versus the yellow it should be. Hopefully that'll give us a better pedal response, better fuel economy. So I'm gonna go check the back shocks and get a part number. So it turns out the back shocks that I bought are gonna be able to work. So I won't have to order new ones of those, which is a good bonus because we had to ship them in from like Germany. Really should have just dug into the shocks ahead a bit more. I didn't realize they're just a Rancho shock. Yeah, I'll get those on. I just got finished installing the rear shocks. Driver's side, the complete bushing was gone, and then the metal sleeve on the inside fused itself to the bolt, so I couldn't get the bolt out. So then I had to cut the bolt, and then luckily I have a bunch of hardware, suspension hardware here, so it wasn't an issue finding a replacement bolt. But yeah, just classic. And then second side, all the bolts come out, no problem. The sleeve that was fused onto the other bolt came right out. But yeah, same thing with this side. These do seem like a beefier shock. Hopefully the shocks I did get are good enough. I'm gonna keep the part number for this, which is RS 999119. Yeah, I'm gonna put in the order for the front shocks. Those should be in this week through Rock Auto. Debating between a KYB like heavy duty shock versus Bilstein shock. Doesn't say the Bilstein's heavy duty, but they do have a good reputation. So I'm tempted to go spend a bit of extra money on the Bilsteins versus the KYBs. But yeah, we got new KYBs in the back, and I'm gonna go take this thing for a drive to get diesel, since it's at a quarter tank, or less than a quarter tank, and then maybe I'll hopefully I'll feel a difference. Today I'm going to attempt to replace the timing belt water pump. Well, going to replace the timing belt water pump. Watch some videos online. Should be 4 or 5 hour job. I suspect it'll probably take 2 days just because. I'll show you what I'm working with. I'll show you what we're working with. As some of you may know, this is a cab over engine, so this is just an inspection plate for like oil, and then this is the major engine cover. So the seat will have to be removed, and luckily, you know, this is an RV and it's not my ride to work, so it's no big rush if this takes 2 days. I think the only real pain is draining the coolant. I just hate it, but what can you do? I'm gonna set you up on a time lapse, and we'll check in once I get the covers removed, and we'll see what we're working with. Taking a little break from the time lapse. Got the floor, got the seat. So it's actually looking pretty good. The Hilux version that I was watching the video on, these coolant lines are like running the front around that way. Looks like I still need to take out the radiator, so it looks like I'm gonna have to take out both seats, which is a bit of a pain, but not as bad as I expected, because it only uses 2 bolts on this side, and then the seat kind of like slides into a channel, so should be pretty easy. Okay, update. Engine is all exposed. It's a good thing. Surprisingly, only took me about half an hour, so pretty reasonable. Really struggled with that connector to get the auto shifter disconnected. So now I got the dreaded part of bleeding the coolant on this guy, or emptying the coolant, pulling out the radiator. Well, yeah, emptying out the coolant. Then I'm also gonna have to, I wonder if I can get that fan shroud off. I don't know, gotta get the clutch fan off. So yeah, the clutch, I don't know. I don't know if I can, yeah, might be able to get the clutch fan out just by removing this, but the radiator needs to be drained before I can pull the radiator out to open up the front of the engine. Okay, I'm gonna figure out a pan, and wish me luck. Well, I'm sure you saw the time lapse. I was struggling with the crank pulley bolt. I even tried right hand impact, but I ended up using the breaker bar I set it here, and then I used the starter, click, turned it over, broke it right free. So, in the time lapse, you saw me getting that valve or the timing cover off. What a pain. Does look like I got a leaky front main seal. It's not too bad, and plus I don't have the seal. I think we're just gonna send it on that. Then, yeah, got the timing marks. I got it set to top dead center. Then, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it for here right now. Need a little break. I don't know, I'm on vacation, so you know, I don't need to go ham getting this thing done instantly, so leave it there. Okay, so it's the next day. So I left off with the motor set to top dead center. I'm going to finish the timing belt today. So I'm gonna deal with the water pump first, since that's you know, a separate thing, and then I'll remove the tensioner or adjust the tensioner so it's loose, and then I can get the belt off. I'm gonna set you up on time lapse. So I just got everything back together, and there's no coolant in it, but I'm gonna try starting it. It's in park. No coolant. Perfect. Okay, time to bleed the coolant. So the motorhome's back together. Coolant is all bled. Everything's running great. I got the timing light bulb out. You actually have to pop out the cluster and move a screw in the back of the gauge, and that turns off the light, which seems kind of crazy to me. But today my new shocks came in. Look at these babies. Now that's the right size. I can't even move these by hand, so those are going to be good. These are the like heavy duty ones from KYB. I ended up not getting the Bilsteins just because the price point was like $150 more, which, you know, would be nice, but nah, these ones are heavier duty, I guess. So now I will set you up on a tripod and then get this thing started. Just got it all finished up. I'm gonna take it for a quick little drive. Put it back in its parking spot over there. I guess I forgot to hit record on the time lapse on the driver's side. So, side was a little worse. Getting the bottom bolt out for the shock. It's a bit of a pain. One tool I'd always like using, I always find really useful is I think they're called lady fingers, but I have a set of these. Like, you don't use them that often, but when you do, they're the ticket. Okay, I'll check in later.